12 was, yeah.
Okay, so that was kind of one of those years where in 11 you guys lost all these guys to the draft. And then you
Five
had
of the
these,
D linemen, right? The D linemen were NFL type guys.
yeah.
No question.
So then you had guys like Tommy Smith and Mike Atkins step in, and guys that probably weren't going to get that, like J.C. Percy, guys that weren't going to get that NFL love. But when you talk about blue collar and stuff, does this defense with Leighton Vander Esch and David Moe, I mean, is there any similar feeling with this group to that group where they lost a lot, but you still that mentality is there maybe?
No, I totally get what you're saying, and I mean that's the thing about college football is like it's here, it's now, it's new faces. But us, we go in the staff room, we look at that board, and it's 2 years out, and I'm looking at the linebackers 2 years ago, no one would look like. So we go and get, we signed Riley Wimpy, who's going to go on a mission, knowing that when he comes back, yes, he's been off for football for 2 years, but guess what? He's 2 years older than an incoming freshman. So some of these things that you can foresee coming, you try to prepare for, and that's kind of the fun and get on the personnel side, I guess, of college football. But for those guys, they're excited. They get the opportunity to improve their roles, and other guys have graduated and moved on, and so it's time for the new wave.
Question for me, just this 3-4, look at the line. It looks like maybe with the studs being more with the linebackers. Are we going to see more of a 3 down lineman type set? What do you kind of see more of the base as far as defense?
It'll be multiple still. We'll still be 4 down. We'll still be 3 down. That's the thing about the way we're structured. We could get in and out of either or without having to change personnel on the field. So that really won't change too much. We're really trying to recruit longer, athletic bodies and find ways to use those guys on the field as well.
Are you excited about the defensive line depth this fall?
Yeah. I mean, it always starts up front, right? So having those guys up front, Sam McCaskill is a tremendous leader and player for us, and losing him obviously. But Durant's really grown into his own over there on that side of the field, and really excited to see some of these guys take off. Yeah.
With Jabril, I mean, they really had to put that guy back together this offseason. I'm just kind of curious, your thoughts on everything he went through and how you start to see him come back from it.
Yeah, he. So really, this summer he got to, take off and go full speed and get himself ready. And so, obviously there's a plan in place to work him back in and get him ready to go for the season, because ultimately that's what it's all about, is getting him ready to play, game number 1. So we're excited to get him back out there. He's been standing on the sideline signaling and being a coach for a little while, and getting all the mental reps. So it's going to be good to see him get some physical reps.
Yeah, he said that last year. I mean, in all actuality, probably wasn't very indicative of what you can do on a football field, because he was injured from fall camp on. And how good can he be? I guess you look at him physically, and what can he be for this defense?
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, he's got a lot of ability. That's the tough part about football too, though. We're always banged up. We're always banged up to be able to compete and still win one-on-ones and all that. And he's got the ability to do that. Especially in the pass rush game, he can be a very effective pass rusher for us.
How different is Tyson Maeva today compared to 1 year ago? And do you feel like his light switch flipped last year?
Yeah, it's night and day. He's one of the leaders of the group. Him being in the middle of the defense, he communicates very well, and that's just a confidence that, from being at this level for a year. And the thing about Tyson is he's got an extremely, extremely high football IQ and loves to compete. And he's pretty hard on himself in terms of his expectations and what he wants to do, so he's pretty driven.
Last one for me, and that's just you've been doing this a little while now, this whole fall camp thing. How much do you just enjoy getting into this thing and bonding with your players and growing beards and whatever might come with it? Like, what stands out to you about fall camp, and how much do you enjoy it?
Well, I think that's just it. You go about fall camp one of two ways, right? Because it's long, it could be grueling, or fall camp can be a 3-week session of going off to the best camp that you could have ever went to as a kid. You eat well, you get to play college football, right? I mean, what more can you want? There's people out there that, would be dying to do what these guys are about to do. It's a lot of hard work, and especially when, that heat wave obviously rolls in right when we get started. It'll be 100 degrees every day this week or whatever. But I think that's where the unity, that brotherhood, we're gonna forge some unity and alignment together as a group that's gonna help us get through, some adversity this season.
One quick last one. Last year on this day, you gave us a name for the guy to watch for in camp. It was Blake Whitlock. It turned out exactly true. You got one for us this year?
There's a few. We're young, that's why, as I thought about that too, and I've been asked that a couple different times, but there's a few guys, at our position, a guy that, can make a jump, who had a really, really nice rings, Benton could have a nice camp, and get rolling. And I think there's a few guys at every position that we're sitting back and hoping. But here's the thing: you don't want to put the pressure on them. You just want them to go out there and play and have fun.
Your linebackers, you got Des Williams, and then you've also got Tyson Maeva, and they're both listed, as starters on the depth chart, which don't read into it too much, but it seems like there's kind of more of like a priority with like their measurables in terms of like speed. Was that an an intentional infusion, or was that like kind of just they were too good to keep off the field?
When we were recruiting on a personnel, we're always looking at measurables from length. Obviously length and height, weight to speed and all that, but at the end of the day, we got to get the best players on the field, and we got to be diverse in what we do too, because there's 3 different types of offenses we got to play this year, and that's a big thing. I think when people look at the depth chart and see certain guys at certain positions and all that, well, we got to play a defense that's got to stop the spread. We got to play a defense that's got to stop triple option. We got to play a defense that's got to stop pro-style offenses as well. So, just using as many guys in as many roles that they can excel in, that it's going to help us get through the season too, just from a longevity standpoint.
And
I want to ask you real quick about Sam Whitney. He's just a guy that it seems like you guys really like, and obviously, without trying to look too much into it, but he's listed number 1. You guys really like what he's done at stud, and we were just talking about how he was a guy who kind of got late in the process and stuff like that. What's impressed you about what he's been able to do?
I think his work ethic. His work ethic is definitely. He is very self-driven in terms of prepping and preparing, and he loves to play the game, and so obviously we got some depth at that position, so we'll see all sorts of stuff out. But the best thing is competition within that's going to drive guys to make better, and we talk about it all the time. It's iron sharpening iron. It's competing with each other, not against each other, and so we're excited about that group, and they'll all have their roles. They're all going to play, but it's exciting to see Sam have a good spring.
How much of a focus this offseason, like you mentioned with some of their coaches, the field position thing? I think last year, obviously, whether it was offense or defense, wasn't always advantageous for you guys for whatever reason. How much is that something that you guys have discussed, and how much of an important factor that was last year even?
Yeah, no question. I think field position is a huge part of this game, and we've talked about and discussed it, and what goes into field position is a lot of different things. There's a lot of hitting yardage, right? There's turnovers that could lead to improving turnovers gained or turnovers lost that lead to field position. So at the end of the day, the closer you could be to scoring, the better off you're going to be. The further you could start away from the end zone, the better off you're going to do from keeping from getting in the end zone. So that's been a huge part.
My last one then is defensively. You guys have. I was looking across the roster. You have, Moa, Vasili, Louis, Kaniho, Nauhine, a lot of Polynesian guys. Has that been something you guys have tried to find more of those guys, and why do those guys become good defensive players?
No, just it's our recruiting areas, and finding the networks, and that's what recruiting is all about, is reaching out and connecting and finding out. And those guys have had positive experiences when they've come here and played, and I think when you're recruiting and you're reaching out to different areas of the western half of the United States, different cultures, you see guys like Kamalei Correa do very well, and that's an incentive. That's guys that are in high school 2 years ago look at that and say, I remember Kamalei, I want to be like Kamalei, and so it's broadened our recruiting field.